What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. Let's face it, the last time you probably thought about your low back was when it was hurting you. So today what I want to do is give you 4 exercises that you can do in your own home without any weights at all to help fortify your back against all future injuries. You see, your low back has to be strong, but not just that. It will never be strong enough unless it gets the help from your glutes. The glutes are a muscle that will work in concert to extend your body, one from below and one from up top. But if they're not working together, then you're going to be in that situation where you find yourself hurting at some point down the line when you go to do your big lifts. Somewhere along the way, it's going to betray you. Let's cover these 4 exercises though, because these are going to be 4 quick things that you can do that will help to prevent any of that from happening in the future. Okay, let's kick this one off with one that looks, I get it, a little bit funny, but I promise you it will really work. What you want to do here is you want to get yourself down on the ground and then turn your feet out. Okay, this is a frog glute bridge. And what we're doing by turning our feet out is we're actually activating the glute medius, an external rotator of the hip. But we want to try to, again, tie all these muscles together that will influence that extension and influence and tie into the low back and the glutes itself. So when we get in this position, now we lift up off the ground. The key here is we're getting full clearance of our butt off the ground, and you're not just, again, getting it off the ground, but you're squeezing it as hard as you possibly can at the same time that you're squeezing the muscles in your low back. You hold each one of these for 5 seconds. You're doing 10 reps for 5 seconds, and then you move right on to this next exercise here. So now we're going to stay in this position. We're still targeting the lower back and the glutes together, but now we're going to tie in from, instead of below with the glute medius, now we're going to tie in a little bit from the top down. We're going to get the lats involved. So you're going to take your elbows and drive them really close to your sides but into the ground. We know that the lats feed down and in towards the muscles of the low back into the pelvis, so we can activate them by trying to almost do a row into the floor. Again, drive yourself up, contract the low back, contract the glutes, and then to kind of put that nail in the coffin, you want to try to extend one leg out. So again, you focus on not allowing your hips to drop here, and you do it for 5 seconds on each leg. When you transition between the right leg and the left leg, it's super important not to allow your pelvis to move or tip. You go to the other leg, you go 5 seconds, you go back and forth 10 times on each leg, and then we're going to turn over on our stomach to hit the next 2 exercises. The first one here is actually one of my favorite. It's called the Angel of Death, because you're going to be making nice little snow angels, but you're going to be doing them on your stomach, and you're going to wish that you died about maybe 5 or 6 reps in. What you're going to do is get flat on your stomach. And a lot of us will do exercises where we lift just the top part up because we think we're working our low back. But that is not enough. If you've been listening to what I've been saying in this video, you need to make sure that the glutes are involved too. So those feet and legs have to get off the ground too. And not just your toes, but I'm talking about your toes, your knees, and your thighs as high up as you can to get that extension in through the hips, in through your glutes. And now you're going to take a 5-second cadence to move your hands from this overhead position all the way down into your sides. Okay, you're going to go and you're going to rotate your hands as you come up, and then you're going to rotate your hands as you go down, but 5 seconds to go from the top to the bottom, and then 5 seconds to go back up to the top. You can see literally every muscle in my back is contracting here to allow me to do this, but most of all, we've got this really strong lengthened contraction in our low back and glutes, forcing them to work over the duration here of the exercise, which is what we need to keep this low back nice and strong, not just here, but when we're actually doing our bigger lifts that we tend to focus a lot more on. And finally, we end with our pulsed eye. And with the pulsed eye, you're going to stay now in this position where your body looks like an eye. Your arms are held close to your body, nice and tight. You're still in that same position where your legs are lifted off the ground, your upper torso and chest is lifted off the ground, activating from both the top and the bottom. And now you want to challenge yourself with these pulses. And the pulses are basically done as fast as you can handle for 5 seconds. Obviously, the more pulses you get in the 5 seconds, the more potential it is for your body to fall down to the ground, the more work your body's going to have to do to prevent that from happening. So for 5 seconds at a time, you pulse your arms as hard as you can, and then you rest in the contracted position. Okay, then you start over again, pulse it for 5 seconds, and you rest in the contracted position. Remember, we're trying to accumulate time here. Your low back is going to function much more as an endurance muscle than it is to function as an overall 1-rep power muscle. So we need to be able to have in our training the elements that address the longer duration here. So when you do all of these, that's your routine. And now how often would you do it? You do it frequently because we want to make sure that we're attending to these weaknesses that have built up over a long period of time. You can do this little routine here. It literally takes 5 to 6 minutes, you could do this every single day and you'll build up the tolerance to be able to do this for even a little bit longer. But the key is this: stop avoiding and ignoring your lower back. I know it doesn't get all the attention of all the beautiful muscles around it, but it is so important to developing all those muscles in the first place. Guys, if you don't want to overlook any important element in your training and you want to start training like an athlete where everything matters, head to ATHLEAN-X.com right now and get our ATHLEAN-X training system. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know what you want me to cover here in a future video, and I'll do my best to do that. All right, guys, see you soon.